Hi guys, we're here live with Mr. Noy Jopson, triathlete extraordinaire. Of course, he's one of the celebrity endorsers of the SM2SM RUN 5. Hi Noy.
Hi JD.
How are you doing?
Hi guys. I'm great. I'm excited about this event that's coming up.
The SM2SM RUN 5, of course, is happening this Feb 22, right?
Yes, 22 Sunday. So it's coming up soon.
Before we talk about the SM2SM RUN, Noy, can you tell us a little bit more about Noy Jopson? Tell us why do you do what you do? Why does Noy Jopson do what he's been doing for the past 25 years now?
Well, I found out early on that I had a gift for triathlon, for swimming, biking, running very fast, or faster than most.
Okay.
And you know, I believe if God gave us these gifts, we need to nurture them, we need to practice them. So I went full on into triathlon. I did, that's been my life for first 12 years, starting when I was 15 when I was in the Philippine team. And then after getting married, I found that it became such a big part of me, it became a lifestyle. And I didn't feel normal if I wasn't doing swimming, biking, running. And I didn't feel normal when I had a gut. I didn't feel normal when I had love handles.
Yeah.
So I found out that now, even though it's no longer my end all and be all, it's no longer my life. I have family now, business. Still, it became a lifestyle.
Okay.
Like just to feel normal and swim, bike, run. And then now, my kids are into triathlon, biking, swimming, running. My wife's sometimes more into triathlon than me, but mostly running. It's become our bonding time. It's a time to enjoy each other's company, me and the family, the kids, and so.
You know, I've asked you this question many times, and you've probably said this many times because I interview you a lot, not just here, you know, on television, also on the radio. But can you tell everyone all over again, for the nth time, I'm sure this is the first time that people will be hearing this one here, take us to your beginnings and what made you decide that this could be the sport that you will be good at. Take us to that moment with your uncle, that story, tell us.
Yeah. Well, I started, my dad died when I was very young, I was 7 years old, and I grew up with my grandparents, and fortunately for me, I have an uncle who was only 6 years my senior, and we became quite close. And basically, me together with my cousin, my other cousin, followed him wherever he went. Whatever he did, we did. And he got into swimming early on, and so we got into swimming. We got into competitive swimming when I was 9 years old. And I enjoyed that tremendously. Swimming in a club, although I found that I wasn't so good at it. I mean, I was okay. But I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed having friends in the swim team. So I was doing that. But my uncle also did one of the first triathlons in the Philippines way back in 1989.
Wow.
And triathlon was so new at that time that we could literally follow him throughout the race. You could follow our manok. because he felt like, you know, he needed massages, bananas, whatever, you know. It was so new that we didn't know if people are supposed to survive through this. It was only Olympic distance, huh? No, kids do that distance. But anyway, something clicked in me. Well, first of all, he won. So that must have made quite an impression on me. But somewhere along that, giving him sponges and water and bananas, something clicked in me and said, this is something that I can do. I mean, I already had a swim. That's already one down. I've always enjoyed the freedom that a bicycle would provide me. You know, I had a BMX then, so I probably bought a 10-speed second-hand road bike for 2,500 pesos.
Back in 89.
That's my first bike. And then
you still have that first bike, by the way?
No.
Oh, that would have
been. Give it to some other worthy up and coming. And then promptly graduating from grade school to high school that very summer. When it came time to choose your varsity team, I chose track just to complete the skill set. Instead of my old buddies in the swim team, I joined the track team because I needed to work at my running. So biking to school, and then swimming was still there, stock knowledge. And then so then, unfortunately, the whole freshman year there was no triathlon in the Philippines.
Not even your uncle?
1990.
He didn't organize anything?
No, he doesn't organize.
Okay.
He's a triathlete. Okay. So he was national champion back in '89. There were no triathlons in the Philippines the whole of 1990.
Okay.
But I found out I was actually better at track than I was in swimming.
Okay.
I was running and winning UAAP track events.
Wow.
Yeah. So sophomore year, I was 15 years old. There was a triathlon, and of course I joined, and I almost won the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was among the leaders in the swim.
Okay.
Got dropped on the bike. I promptly knew that biking to and from the house to school was not enough training. I needed to do longer, harder rides. So I got dropped on the bike, but my track background, I made it my way up to second, and actually almost caught the guy right before the finish line. So you know, 15 years old, your very first race, I almost won the national championship. I was totally hooked by that time, and since then it's been a never-ending search for improvement, pockets of improvement here and there. And in triathlon, there's so many things. There's technology, there's gizmos, gadgets, all of these things. Nutrition is the fourth event. The fifth event is transition, changing from one discipline to the next. I've lost races because I took longer time to So I think that was the moment when I saw my uncle, and then since then it's just.
So that was the moment when you started into.
I decided that I would be a triathlete. But it wasn't until a year and a half that I actually got to do it.
And like I asked you earlier on the radio show, but now it's on television. What was your tipping point? What was the moment when you felt like, hey, I could be good at this? You know, this could be something that I could be good at. What was that moment? Was
that first race.
The race that we almost won.
Yeah, that was the Marbella Triathlon back in 1991.
Okay.
And I almost won it, and I had a blast.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed the event, and I felt like, oh, there's so much more room for improvement. I can improve my bike. You know, I would have been there, and so then. Sure enough, 1992, they started the first national team, and I was invited into the team. And that same year, I went to the very first Asian Championships in Asaki, Japan, and I got the bronze medal for junior. And then, so that's it. And then 12 years in the Philippines.
Wow, you have a really nice story. I think you should write a book or something like that. So obviously, you're also very good at running. In fact, I think one of your strengths is running, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, actually, I think I excelled in triathlon because I wasn't stand out particularly good at any of the three. But I could hold my own. I was solid in all. And in running, I think I still have the best run off the bike that's ever, the best 10K off the bike that's ever been produced.
Wow.
I ran a 31:42 off the bike in 10K, so I actually haven't run that fast in a road race because just during the highlight of my running career, so always in triathlon season, and there were races every weekend like we do now. So anyway,
you know, Cebu City is a triathlon city. Obviously, it's also a running city. In fact, the main reason why you're here with us is the SM2SM Run 5. You know, we have a lot of viewers out there who are runners, are participating this February 22 with the SM2SM Run 5. Can you give us some tips? Give us an idea on how to become the next Noy Jopson in terms of running.
Yeah. Well, first of all, whatever distance you're planning to do, you have to be able to have run that distance already in training, and actually suggest even beyond that distance. For example, about 10 to 15 to 20% beyond that distance, so that that distance that you're planning to run is gonna be like nothing. It's just you've done it in training, you've been there, done that. It's just a matter of going fast. So I'm talking about if you're planning to race the 21K, you should have been able to complete a 24K at training. If it's a 12K, you should be comfortable running towards 15K so that you can be comfortable racing a 12K effort. That said, a lot of people have their longest run shorter than their target race, and that's asking for trouble because they say, for example, some marathoners, they top up at 32K, and then they wonder why they're hitting the wall at 32K. Because it's the farthest they've run in J. So how do you expect to go beyond that if you haven't been?
So you have to run at least 10% longer than your distance.
The distance that you're planning to race. Okay. Yeah. And when you do that run though, you don't do it race pace. You do it very easy.
Okay.
In fact, I even go for us to suggest that they do it in a run, walk, run method, where they incorporate walk breaks regularly throughout the run. I found personally, my wife and I experienced this, that if we take appropriate walk breaks throughout a race, we can actually have a faster run time, and we'd be fresher and more. We can still do a lot of activities after our run, even if we have monster long run.
So aside from running longer than your the distance that you're planning to run, what are your other tips?
The other tips, so that's volume. So if you have your long run down to pat, you should have also your intent. You know, a lot of people just run as consistent things. They don't shake it up. They don't do track workouts. You need this. You need to run faster so that you can race faster. You need to have track session ideally once a week. If you're don't have access to a track, you can simulate that effort in the track by doing tempo runs, so fast-paced running, but shorter distance. For example, if you're doing 12K, you can have a tempo run for about 8 to 10K, shorter, so that you're able to simulate the racing effect, and it won't tax the system as much as you're doing stuff. So if you're running 21K, you can have a 15K tempo run. And you can also incorporate hill work, a lot of hill repeats, because that overloads the muscles because you're trying to run fast up the hill. So those things are helpful. Unfortunately, not enough runners are doing that. They just go running, you know, for 40 minutes, whatever their normal run. And then they wonder why they're not experiencing improvement. But you need to sort of like rev the engine, rev it up higher, so that it will be running smoother and higher as time around.
Last spot is the word that they use a lot, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a fairly recent word that I discovered, last spot. What does that mean exactly? What does last spot mean?
It's a point of fatigue. The point
of fatigue.
There's nothing left in the top here. That's and everybody experiences that. In fact, it's nice to experience that every once in a while in training, so that you know where your limits are.
So you know you're pushing yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Noy, take us a night before the run. A night before Feb 22, Feb 21, 6 p.m. Should I sleep early? You know, most runners can't sleep, you know, on the night before the race. What should I be doing a night before the SM2SM Run 5 on Feb 22, 6 p.m.?
Feb 22?
Feb 21, Feb 21, yes.
Well, ideally, you should be checked in at the Radisson. the last 4 years, that's what we've been doing. We just stay overnight there. Everything's right there. You can have that extra hour of sleep. The thing about these running races, especially 21K and marathon races, start like at 3 or 4 a.m. Don't sleep na lang, di ba? Practically. But that's why we always check in there the night before.
Stay close to the
race. We're there already. And at 6 o'clock, I'd be having my dinner. Because you're gonna have to be running really early. So I'd be having
early dinner.
Yeah, and it will be something light.
When you say light, what do you mean? What does Noy eat?
Normally fish. Some pasta. Maybe some rice. No fancy sauces or anything like that. So normally for me, just like fish for my protein and something that will go out equally fast and be digested. And
so when you finally wake up, you know, race morning, let's say you wake up at the race is at 5 a.m., right? The 21K gun start. So you wake up at 3 a.m. What's the ideal time to wake up? Like 2 hours before the race?
Yeah.
An hour before the race?
At least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours. So what do you do? Do you eat again? Do you eat breakfast?
Yeah, we eat breakfast.
Really, you do?
For 21K, it's like as simple as an energy bar or a sandwich with a banana.
No coffee?
Yes, coffee. For me, I need it. But some people they don't like it. So it's fine. As long as you give yourself a window of about 2 hours to absorb that. And something very, very light. And if you're doing 12K, 6K, you can even forgo breakfast. Maybe just, you know.
So 2 hours is the absorption time for nutrients. Am I correct?
Yes. Because you want to be able to do a proper toilet break before the race starts.
Of course,
so at least 2 hours. So maybe actually 2:30 and then try to sleep again for an hour and a half. And then just wake up an hour before the race for preparation.
Okay, 15 minutes before gun start. I'm already there in the race site. What am I going to do?
You're just chatting with friends and saying hi to people and trying to find a good position for the race. You should do your warm-up about... We should have just completed your warm-up at that time. 30 to 15 minutes before the race, and your warm-up stays with you. I mean, it doesn't go away, so you don't need to be panicking.
Because I see a lot of people running around, you know, before a race, almost like
right before the race.
Just right before the race, like
maybe they arrive late.
No. What I meant is that they run around, you know, so that they'll get the certain. That's their warm-up.
You want to be able to get ready, right?
Is that the same as a Zumba warm-up, or not?
It's basically the same. You want to do more like you want to free the body, make it
loose,
the range of motion, practice it and everything.
Yeah.
So do your warm-up if you haven't. 15 minutes before gun time. Do your warm-up, because if you haven't done so, and then after that, promptly get into a good starting position. That's what I would do.
And then bang. So
and 15 minutes before gun time, I take my final gel.
Final gel. Oh, you have to have a gel, right?
For me, I top up with one gel.
For the 21K, just one gel. Just one gel.
Yeah.
So you should be taking at least
and then I'll take a gel every 5K.
Every 5 days.
Yeah.
So for 21K, you will have at least four
gels. One before the start, and then one at 5, 10, and then at 15. And then I won't take anything the last 6 days.
All right.
Yeah.
So it has time to absorb. I mean, the gel is designed in such a way that it absorbs quicker than the usual kind of.
It's about 10 minutes because it's liquid. Yeah. So it's absorbed just like that. The other thing I would suggest, if you're asking about tips, is you need to pace yourself. A lot of runners in Cebu tend to like go berserk the first kilometer. You know? They show me their garments and they say, you see, the first kilometer is the fastest that they've run. And they're so proud of it. And the reason why
kilometer is the slowest
you run so slow is because you run the fastest in your first kilometer. So that's so important to pace yourself and to aim to finish strong.
So, but when you hear the gun, you know, it's pretty exciting to hear the gun start, right?
Yeah.
So what do? Do you slow down a little bit, or do you go at it? I mean,
you go at it. Try to get your tempo going. That's the most important thing, is to get your leg turnover good. And stuff. But you know, don't go at a pace that you know you can't maintain for the distance that you're racing.
So go to that pace where you think you can consistently maintain throughout the race.
Or even slightly slower than what you think you can maintain, because you always overestimate your capacity.
Yeah, of course.
So you can actually go
like that.
A little bit conservative the first 2K, and then you'll realize you'll be picking those crazy runners off one by one as you go further into the race.
You know, after talking to Noy Jopson, you think that you're Noy Jopson all of a sudden in the racetrack, right? But you're not. You're just you know, jiggy mere mortal. So Noy, the SM2SM run is fast approaching, and can you tell us a little bit more about the SM2SM run?
Well, SM2SM run is the most anticipated run in 21K run in Cebu. It's also becoming the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest run in Cebu. And it's become an institution. It's for 5th year running. I mean, very few races can claim consistency like that. And I think they're always making it an effort to make it better every year, which is what I like about it. So this year they're offering the biggest prizes for the champions, and the unique thing is they're separating the international category.
So this has a special international category that they created. Why create the special international category?
Well, it's my opinion that our local runners are oftentimes being outshined by their Kenyan or Ethiopian counterparts. There's a lot of them that they're joining our race, especially big events like this one. So it's just an opportunity to be able to let our local talent shine, and also still recognize the international category. They have a separate category, so basically that's it. But the nice thing is there's bigger prizes for the local athletes. So you know, most of the local athletes actually are not that well to do, and it's good. I mean, they need it for their training, for their families and stuff. So
you know, let me sidetrack a little bit, Noy. The Ethiopians, the Kenyans, they've been running here for a long time, right? And you know, I host a lot of runs, so I know that they're always in the podium, you know, donning their gold medals and all that stuff. But I've noticed that the Filipino run is catching up. Am I just you know, seeing things, or is it really happening? I mean, are we really learning from international caliber runners like the Kenyans and the Ethiopians? Are we learning a lot from them?
I think we are. Actually, that's a good thing. I think we are. But keep in mind that the Kenyan and Ethiopian runners that we have, we are not really their top of the shelf.
Okay.
International. But still, with the Kenyans that are here, we're catching up.
Okay.
In fact, our Mary Joy Tabal, our reigning women's champion, is always beating them now.
Yeah.
Our men's, you know, you always see a Pinoy now in the top 3.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like not all Africans there. So it's nice. Yeah, we're catching up to them, and I think it's nice that we don't have those top of the shelf international. Because at least they're giving the competition. If you're parang too far ahead, then you demoralize them too much, right? But before, when they arrived here, they were that far ahead. And now that's a good observation, because you're always hosting this, and it's happening. It is helping our because you know, if they never came here, then there'll be that sense of complacency. Then these guys are always winning now, and it's always at this level. But now you're getting great times.
It is not a true run, you know, if there are no Kenyans and Ethiopians.
It's become that way. We welcome them, and here they also have exciting prizes for them. It's just that separate prices.
Okay. So Noy, why don't you invite them one more time for the SM2SM Run 5, already running in its 5th year. Go ahead, Noy.
I'd like to invite everybody to join us, celebrate this on its 5th year, the SM2SM Run. Let's celebrate our life. Let's celebrate our health. Celebrate families, each other, friendship, and you know, SM2SM is just bringing such great memories over the years. It's almost like a reunion.
But so, unfortunately, they have removed the category which your wife and yourself have been dominating for the past 4 years.
It's fine.
The couples category, right?
We're still gonna run together. It's just tradition, but it's gonna be a great run. Maybe they'll bring it back next year, but still, it's
maybe they'll call it the Noy and Amali category. Thank you so much, Noy Jopson.
See you at the SM2SM Run.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, man. Sorry for keeping you, man.
No problem.